The sea of armies in Boston suddenly erupted over an extraordinary act by BTS's Jimin that set the entire stadium's emotions ablaze. The dramatic moment began when Jimin spotted a sign held by an elderly fan who had faithfully waited for him for 7 years. Without hesitation, he took off his jacket, gave her a warm hug, and placed a gentle kiss on her forehead. The atmosphere grew even more emotional as Jungkook stepped in to comfort a tearful Jimin, who couldn't hold back his tears of joy. The throw of a single flower and a glowing sea of army bombs perfectly sealed this historic night. This spontaneous act stands as true proof of the deep love and gratitude Jimin holds for his fans. Now, this unforgettable moment in Boston leaves everyone with one big question: what other spectacular surprises await at the next concert? Welcome to Jimintober, your daily dose of Jimin, BTS, and everything you need to know. Let's get started. The atmosphere on the second day of BTS's concert in Boston suddenly turned into a moment that thousands of armies in the stadium would never forget. The cheers that had filled the arena from the beginning instantly transformed into hysterical screams when a unique poster caught Jimin's attention. The poster was held by an elderly fan standing amidst the sea of armies. The message on the poster read, "Anything. Throw it to me. Keychain, jacket, I've been waiting for 7 years." At first, no one expected Jimin to notice the sign. However, as the spotlight directed toward the tribune, Jimin suddenly stopped in his tracks and stared at the fan. His expression shifted immediately, as if he was deeply touched by the simple message written on the poster. A moment later, Jimin walked toward the edge of the stage. The entire stadium erupted instantly, and fans witnessing the moment began chanting Jimin's name with intense enthusiasm. Unexpectedly, Jimin took off the jacket he was wearing and handed it to the fan. The woman, who had been faithfully supporting BTS for years, covered her face, fighting back tears. Her hands trembled as she received the gift she had never imagined getting directly from her idol. Tears could no longer be held back as she stood gazing at Jimin with glistening eyes. Yet, the big surprise did not end there. Jimin approached again and bowed his body as a sign of respect. Afterward, he gave the fan a warm hug as an expression of gratitude for the years of support she had given. The stadium was once again filled with the screams of the audience. Many armies captured the moment on their cameras, while others stood in disbelief at what was unfolding right before their eyes. Jungkook, who was standing not far away, watched the entire scene in silence. His facial expression showed deep emotion seeing how sincerely Jimin treated his fan. The most shocking moment occurred shortly after. As a token of gratitude, Jimin gave a warm kiss on the fan's forehead. The entire stadium shook with the screams of thousands of spectators witnessing the event live. The fan appeared completely speechless, weeping as she tightly held the jacket given by Jimin. Many believed that 7 years of waiting had finally paid off in a truly extraordinary way. The incident quickly became a hot topic on social media. Thousands of fans shared photos and short clips showing the emotional moment, with many admitting they cried along, deeply touched by Jimin's gesture. Beyond the excitement of the concert that night, the one thing that remained deeply etched in the hearts of fans was how Jimin demonstrated his love for those who always supported him. Now, many armies are left wondering if Boston was merely the beginning of other surprises Jimin has prepared throughout the tour. What is certain is that the night will always be remembered as one of the most touching moments in the long journey between Jimin and his fans. Jimin then took a deep breath before raising the microphone once again. A subtle smile remained on his face, but his eyes were red as he tried to hold back tears that refused to stop flowing. With a trembling voice, Jimin shared that the long journey he had taken with BTS was not always filled with happiness. There were times when he felt exhausted, overwhelmed, and questioned his own abilities. However, amidst all those moments, he said that the fans were always his greatest reason to keep going. The stadium atmosphere, previously filled with cheers, gradually fell silent. Thousands of fans stood gazing at the stage, unwilling to miss a single word spoken by Jimin. Occasional sobs could be heard from various corners of the arena. Some fans were even seen hugging one another, unable to hold back the deep emotions they felt. Jimin then lowered his head and looked back toward the elderly fan who had become the center of attention that night. With a warm smile, he raised his hand and waved gently as a mark of respect. That simple action triggered another wave of emotion throughout the stadium. Many fans began chanting Jimin's name, while others turned on their army bombs until the arena transformed into a beautiful sea of purple light. Not far from where Jimin stood, Jungkook watched everything closely. His expression remained calm, but the look in his eyes showed that he was also feeling the emotional atmosphere filling the stadium. A moment later, Jimin spoke again. He said that time continues to move forward, but the memories created with the fans would always hold a special place in his heart. Those words were immediately greeted by thunderous applause echoing across the arena. Many fans shared that they came not just to watch a concert, but to be part of a long journey built together over many years. That night, Boston became more than just a venue for a grand musical performance. It became a witness to the birth of a memory that fans will cherish forever. Yet, until the stage lights turned back on and the music began to play, one question remained on the minds of fans. Did that emotional moment truly happen spontaneously, or was it prepared by Jimin as a tribute to those who have supported him all along? Seeing Jimin still trying to hold back his tears, Jungkook finally stepped slowly toward the side of the stage. The spotlights pointing at them brought the entire audience's attention straight to the two BTS members. With a warm smile, Jungkook gently patted Jimin's shoulder before whispering something unheard by the audience. Jimin smiled and lowered his head, trying to regulate his still fragile emotions. That simple moment instantly drew cheers from thousands of fans. Many viewed Jungkook's gesture as proof of the deep bond forged between them over the years. Jungkook then raised Jimin's hand into the air, smiling at the audience. Instantly, the stadium was once again filled with applause echoing from every corner of the arena. Jimin, still holding the microphone, took a deep breath before expressing his gratitude once more to all the fans present that night. He stated that the love and support he received always gave him the strength to keep moving forward. Meanwhile, the elderly fan who had received the jacket from Jimin was still crying while holding the gift tightly. Several people around her tried to comfort her, but the emotional expression remained clear on her face. Jungkook then wrapped his arm around Jimin's shoulder and walked him toward the center of the stage. At that moment, thousands of armies once again chanted both idols' names with intense passion. The atmosphere that began with tears gradually turned warmer. Jimin smiled once more, while Jungkook waved several times to the crowd, who never stopped offering their support. Many fans admitted that they did not merely witness a music performance, but rather a story of gratitude, friendship, and a connection built over many years. However, behind all those emotional moments, fans continued to wonder if Boston still held other surprises yet to be revealed before the concert concluded. Before leaving the side of the stage, Jimin stopped his steps once more. He turned back toward the elderly fan who had been the center of attention since the beginning. The spotlight beaming onto the tribune filled the stadium with roaring cheers once again. With a warm smile, Jimin raised both hands to form a heart shape in the air. The fan covered her face, trying to hold back tears that burst anew after receiving such special attention from her idol. Yet, the surprise was not over. Jimin slowly picked up a single flower that had been sitting near the side of the stage. For a moment, he gazed at the flower before tossing it toward the tribune where the fans stood. Instantly, the entire stadium erupted in hysterical cheers. Quite a few people stood up from their seats, unable to believe what had just transpired. The elderly fan hugged the flower tightly, as if unwilling to let it go. Tears continued to stream down her face, while those around her joined in with enthusiastic applause. Jungkook, standing nearby, simply smiled as he watched the scene unfold. Occasionally, he turned to Jimin and nodded, as if understanding how meaningful the moment was for both his friend and the fans present. Afterward, Jimin bowed as a sign of gratitude. Thousands of armies simultaneously raised their army bombs, transforming the entire stadium into a glowing sea of purple light. That night, the concert in Boston did not just deliver an extraordinary performance, it left behind a story full of warmth and emotion. A simple poster carrying a small hope from a fan ultimately turned into an unforgettable memory. Even after the concert ended, fans continued to talk about the moment. Many believed Jimin's actions were a sincere expression of respect for those who have always stood by his side. Still, one question continues to echo among armies: was the surprise Jimin gave that night the end of the touching story in Boston, or was it merely the beginning of more special moments to come in the next concerts?